now, brother?
We are live right now, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, everyone
I'm
out there in the world, in America, and out in the sea and in outer space. Welcome to a different version of Music Maniacs featuring myself and YR. Tonight, we're going to mix it up. Many times in the past, we often, put other topics, other discussions within the music show when we're supposed to be focusing on that. So we figure for this evening we just mix it up. Talk about music, lifestyles, situations, and everything else. Politics
testing,
included.
testing.
Testing, testing. All right, we hear you loud and clear, YR. And by the way, we're doing this through Discord. By the way, we're communicating through this Discord at the moment. And so, how's everything going, YR? Pretty good there.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up that. Can you play that song that I sent you?
Let me
A
see.
piece of it.
I gotta find it for first and foremost. Let's see.
Sammy Hagar. Everyone. There's a lot of Sammy Hagar news. Honestly, it's a lot.
Okay, there. You did definitely talk about that there because Sammy Hagar recently released a song titled Encore, Thank You, Good Night. I believe that's the name of it. And it was his tribute to Eddie Van Halen, his partner of over 10 years when he was with Van Halen. Okay. I'm going to play a little bit here so that way we don't
Yeah, you
get
fast
copyright
forwarded it
struck.
again.
That's what I'm doing right now.
Nah,
There
you
we
won't.
go. What again?
Go ahead.
I gotta wait till the ad is done, obviously, to get to some of the track here. I hate when they do this. Unfortunately, I remember Keith mentioning that possibly you pay a certain amount for a premium to avoid ads being played. Okay, here we go. Sounds good. Very good. All right. That's
Look,
a little
Brown. There's a lot of Hagar news. I'm gonna send it.
okay.
So there's like three different Hagar news pieces. It's pretty big.
Okay. Now I know that Jason Bonham left his group there. He's been replaced by that drummer, Kenny Arnoff. I think his name is pronounced, if I'm correct. He used to drum with John Mellencamp for many years. Right. And shout out to Carlos Cabral. He's in the chat right now. He's back. He's doing well. Good to hear from you too,
Yo,
Carlos.
Carlos, would you ask him to create the Discord and join the show, man?
Yeah, definitely, Carlos. If you have Discord, definitely join the show, and we'll add you in.
We're talking a little
We'll
bit.
s-
We're doing a little bit of wrestling, politics, music, like a mix tonight. So
Absolutely. We're mixing it up as we stated at the beginning of the show. So definitely get on board with us, kid. All right, there.
if you can see the post in the Discord when I send them, right?
I did. Well, I'm still
Talking
trying to
about?
get used. I'm still trying to get. Is it in the music news, show ideas, links, and everything else?
Yeah, let me throw it in the news thing.
Yeah, go ahead here because I'm still getting used to. Remember, this is my first time doing a live show. Yes, I saw it right now. The link you did is was in the music news thing that you posted. I said, and I definitely listened to it while I was at my work a couple days ago. And as I stated, it sounds pretty damn good. All right.
Yeah.
All right. It does. Like we said, how long is residency in Las Vegas usually lasts for an artist? About months or a year or 2 years?
It depends. It depends. Sometimes a week, sometimes a few weeks, sometimes a month, sometimes 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Just
Hmm.
depends.
Yes.
Artist by artist. You know what I'm saying?
All right, there.
Case by
Let
case, brother.
Okay, let's see here. Let's see if I can add Paul into the mix here. Let's see here. Paul 3. Is it called just Paul 3? No results found. Unless he goes by a different Discord name, I believe. Because right now all we have is Jeremiah Goodson, Bullfrog. Hannah is awesome, someone who I DM'd a couple times in the past. Al, cute administrator, and oh my goodness gracious, always nerdy TV and Garguts. What the hell? I'm surprised he was on Discord. Oh yeah, Amanda Carmen. You may remember here from a couple years ago. Deleted user. So Paul, you need to let us know what is the name of of your name you never mind, I'm getting out of touch here. In the meantime,
Oh,
what
you
did
got that?
yeah, I got it right
I
now. I'm
sent
gonna
you a
read it.
couple of those articles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. This is according to blabbermouth.net. Says Ozzy Osbourne said that he will do his very best when he plays his final gig with Black Sabbath and as a solo artist this summer. The legendary heavy metal singer announced it his last ever performance on February 5th, revealing that the original members of Black Sabbath are reuniting for the first time in 20 years for the show. Joining them on the concert will be called Back to the Beginning. It's going to take place July 5th in Aston Villa Park in Birmingham, England. It will also host a lot of legendary metal bands that Black Sabbath had inspired: Metallica, Slayer, Lamb of God, Mastodon, Anthrax, and Pantera. Now, Ozzy, who has not played a full show since 2018 before undergoing extensive surgery on his spine, revealing that he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, told The Guardian about this upcoming show, quote unquote, "I'll be there and I'll do the best I can. All I can do is turn up." Addressing his physical ailments, Ozzy said, "You wake up the next morning and find that something else has gone wrong. You begin to think this is never going to end." You know? He said the Sabbath reunion show was conceived by his wife and manager, Sharon, as, quote, "something to give me a reason to get up in the morning." He also stated, "I do weights, bike riding. I got a guy living in my house who's working with me. It's tough. I've been laid up for such a long time. I've been lying on my back doing nothing, and the first thing I go is your strength." The first thing to go is your strength, I meant to say, my bad. "It's like starting all over again. I got a vocal coach coming around 4 days a week to keep my voice going. I have problems walking. I also get blood pressure issues from blood clots in my legs." Got to watch those. Now, the singer continued, "I'm used to doing 2 hours on stage, jumping and running around. I don't think I'll be doing as much jumping or running around this time. I may be sitting down." He also added, "We're playing a couple of songs each. I don't want people thinking we're getting ripped off, because it's just going to be, what's the word, a sample. You're going to get a few songs each from Ozzy and from Sabbath." All right, that's what Ozzy had to say, according to blabbermouth.net. All right, that's all. And of course, I would not be surprised if he was sitting down while performing because, he was sitting down during his rock and roll induction ceremony.
I don't know. I don't like that sitting down crap. I'm not going to the Heart show because what's her name sitting down
And
in a
and
wheelchair the
Wilson.
whole time.
And Wilson. Well,
Yeah, I
I
didn't like
know,
that. I watched videos. Like I don't know. The voice is fine and everything,
yeah.
but visually and just the vibe, I don't. I really wanted to go to that tour too
Mm.
when they came, but like I don't know, dude.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
But then again, you
I'm
gotta
starting
remember. But then again, let's think of Axl Rose. Some of the after Guns N' Roses reunited at the Troubadour in 2016, he broke his foot and he had to be laid up on the sitting down on the kind of like a Game of Thrones throne.
No, I know that, but like, which was the throne thing. It's like, what's her name is on a wheelchair, and her
Hmm.
hair is gray. It's not even black. And I understand she was going through cancer, blah blah blah, everything. I mean, look, people are giving it like Raven, and like it's great. You know what I'm saying? It's like people aren't like, but it's just like visually, I don't know, dude. Like, it might be a last minute deal if I go, but like I definitely didn't, spend any money on tickets for that show yet because for that reason, dude, it's hard to explain.
I think you're better
Like
off
some of the
seeing.
shit's good. Like some bands are good and some music's good live in concerts and some just like come on stage and do, phone it in and not really, you know what I'm saying? It's
Hmm.
like the Weezer concert was kind of hit or miss for me, you know what I'm saying? Other ones, a few, but most of the time it's good, but like you really got to do your research when you're going to, you know what I'm saying? You can't be, I don't know, I guess if you're like an older person in your 60s or 70s, you kind of don't mind people sitting in chairs or wheelchairs, but I didn't see Hart in, the 70s or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like a lot of the fans that go to these older shows do they've seen them a million times back in the day and shit, but like I am just now seeing them now,
Yeah.
so I'm judging on them now. And obviously back in the day all the bands were great live, you know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
they were indeed.
So I can't, I'm judging on what they are now, and really the top ones now that are worth your money is like your Metallicas, your obviously your Iron Maidens,
Your priest.
Judas Priest,
Yep.
somewhat, but like the really top shit is like your Metallica, your Maiden. I feel like Maiden's a little bit hotter than Metallica, just like they're really running, not they, Bruce Dickinson's running around on stage.
Oh,
So, and they
indeed.
got all
Yes.
kinds of shit going on, the Eddies, everything, you know what I'm saying? So, like Maiden really for your live concert experience, Iron Maiden really I would put in that same category, if not better than Metallica. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Pantera's doing, what they doing right now, which is great, blah blah blah. Like they're already, you know what I'm saying? Um Obviously all your nineties stuff is gonna be good live. All your nineties, Pumpkins, Green Day, whatever, everything, all of that stuff. Bush.
Hmm.
I've seen all of them and all of them are gonna be good live, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, even I would even go see Three Doors Down again.
Mm.
I like that's one of the bands I want, and they're not doing anything, this year. But like they opened for Creed, Three Doors Down blew me away, man. Absolutely in tears. I
Wow.
cried like ACDC show. I was I was crying, but like more of a watery eye than a cry. Just like I couldn't believe what I was seeing. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Unbelievable stuff. Brown, this Aussie thing. You know, there's just so much like with that. Like, bro, what's his name? Lou Graham is gonna tour with Foreigner for another year,
Mm. His foreigner
but
or
he's
the
only
main
doing like,
foreigner?
well, the main Foreigner,
The main.
which is nice. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
interesting.
They're gonna. I mean, he's not touring for the full set. He's doing like 4 songs, but it is confirmed that Lou Graham did say that he is gonna do this with the Foreigner band for the rest of the year.
All right.
There's a lot of, you said the full U.S. tour. I mean, they're touring a lot. Look, I mean, Brown Man, you got to realize that the 90s is coming back. The 90s is, I mean, people are wearing baggy stuff again. Okay. Baggy
80s,
clothes.
90s,
People are
both
wearing,
decades.
doing the whole, 90s vibe is back, for a while in the 2000s and probably in other years. But like, the concert shirt, I know the concert shirt, or, the band tee. I feel like in the 2000s, even if you didn't know the band or not, the band tee was a popular item. Obviously tour shirts from all the years,
Mm-hmm.
but the baggy clothing with the 90s Brown, which you weren't too into or whatever,
The Jungle
is
jeans or
back.
yeah, I know.
And it's
I've
pretty
seen some of
unbelievable,
them.
honestly,
Yeah, but
how the
not as
90s
bad as it
made a
was
surge
back
coming
then.
back. I mean, I'm talking stuff about, Happy Gilmore 2 is going to come out in a month or so, or a couple months. I mean, they remade Happy Gilmore 90s iconic
Hmm.
classic comedy.
Now is Adam Sandler going to
Um,
be back as well in the title
I mean,
role?
like I said, I mean, there's rumors, kind of, but I mean, nothing confirmed. But like, I really think Nirvana's going to come back with like Post Malone as their lead singer, because
Mm,
they did a couple things. Like Nirvana came back. I don't know necessarily who the singer was. I think it was a chick or something. I don't know.
there was a couple.
Um,
There was a couple people
or
who
even
filled
Francis
in.
Scott Bean, Kurt Cobain's daughter.
Francis Scott.
I
You
think
mean
I don't know,
Francis Bean?
something, with Nirvana, but even the Sublime thing with Bradley Noel's son singing us for Sublime now. They're doing these festivals. They haven't like, I feel like Bradley Noel's son is learning the ropes,
Hmm.
learning stuff. I mean, obviously he's good at singing, blah blah blah. But like they haven't Sublime is it? It's been like a year and a half, 2 years or so. Because I saw them with Rome, obviously, and that was like their last deal.
Hmm.
Because Rome left, and but this new Sublime, which really, they came back with the original drummer with this new Sublime with
Yep.
Bladdy Noel's son and the bass player, and I think they have the road man, some maybe the man, I don't know, someone playing guitar, like lead guitar. So it is a 4 piece technically on stage. This new Sublime, but
Ah.
that is a hot. I mean, they haven't announced any tours, big tours. They are doing like single festivals here and there, and I mean they are playing live. But that is a major. I mean, all this '90s stuff is really what's in right now. These this '80s. I mean, a lot of these '80s bands. If you look back 20 years ago, I mean, there's no more Great White, no more Jack Russell anymore. Pretty much, and he passed. That was a
Yep.
major.
Well, hold on. There is a great
There's a
white,
lot
but
of other ones, Brown. You know what I'm
right.
saying? That dropped off, but there's a lot of ones that are still doing, Sticks, Don Felder interview with 80 Trunk. I
Hmm.
listened to Don Felder the other day. He's bringing back he's doing all the Eagles stuff, but like Don Felder really composed like the instrumental music for Hotel California.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just major iconic figures that are still alive and doing it. I'm going on this rant. I'm sorry, but this wrestling's not doing it right now, Brown.
Well,
Wrestling's
let me
not. You know what I'm
intervene
saying?
for.
WrestleMania was a complete failure. I mean,
Well, let me intervene on a couple of
go
things
ahead,
you
man.
mentioned. Great White is not no more. They're still carrying on with how many singers? I don't know who's the current frontman at the moment. Right now, it's just Mark Kendall with a bunch of new guys as well, leading the pack.
But now, no, I mean, like they got. they got their thing, but I'm talking like Jack Russell's part
I
of it.
know.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
he, like I mean, like I'm not like it was people gonna go see Mark Kendall, Great White with some random lead sing. I don't know. I think it's that
Mhm.
singer who did some stuff for Lynch Mob too.
Mm.
Andrew something. Wow,
Who knows?
Andrew William or Andrew something. But um, I mean, I'm talking like the singer is always gonna. I don't know. Like it depends. Like a guitarist can just be as iconic as a singer. Slash and Axl Rose, Angus and Brian Johnson. So like, first thing I want to see the singers if they still good and everything.
Hmm.
Which there's a couple. Obviously this big Motley Crue thing with Def Leppard. I sent you that piece, that
Yes, and I
picture.
didn't believe it at first until you corrected me. Believe it or not, that's going to be interesting. Now I don't. It
Well,
would
no, I
be
don't know if that is real. No, I don't know. I think that is fake, though. I think that's fake. That I looked,
maybe
and
us, maybe no.
you
Who
know,
knows?
Motley Crue's only doing like residencies, like later in the fall. I think they
Mm.
postpone.
Oh wow.
But I mean, that's what I was talking about last week. Like Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, Stadium. I mean, let's do it.
It
I
would
mean,
be
like
nice.
that journey, the journey, Steve Miller and Def Leppard going on
Residency.
last year, which I don't know
Yeah.
why I didn't go. It was kind of expensive. That's why I didn't go. And I thought it was in another state, like the Rangers baseball team. They have two stadiums. They have the original stadium still up and it has no roof. So like I thought these concerts were at the no roof stadium. I was like, what? It was like, bro, summertime. I was like, hell no. So I didn't go. But like I should have gone to that. It was a great billing. Def Leppard is still decent. Blah blah
Hmm.
blah. Obviously Journey, Brown. You know what I
Yes.
mean? I mean that's a night full of hits. Styx, REO Speedwagon, or Kevin
Yes.
Cronin's version of REO Speedwagon, and then Don Felder tour is a
Hmm.
night full of hits. A lot of old people though.
Hmm.
The Ministry concert is this weekend, by the way.
Nice. In your area?
Yeah, but I don't think I'm gonna go.
Oh wow. It would be
I don't
interesting
think
for
I'm
you
gonna
to
go.
check out the earlier material that they did back in the 80s from the two albums
I
of
love them.
Performing
I like.
Song.
I mean, Ministry has their. Are they gonna do Florida, Brown? Is Ministry gonna
I
do
do
that?
not know.
Because
I
they're gonna do
checked a
the
couple
first two
times.
albums.
I checked a few times, but unfortunately, nothing has been listed still. Why? I have no clue. And speaking of expensive, I gotta throw this in here. I saw a video here on YouTube regarding Coachella. We all know that festival. It's where
Yeah,
all the so-called pop stars of today, all their freaky tikis gather around with all these influencers that are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, blah blah blah. Check this out. You think concert ticket to see Sammy Hagar is expensive? Check this out. Coachella, expensive? Most definitely. With the potential to cost anywhere from $2,000 to $500 to $7,000 per person, depending on your choices of tickets, travel, accommodations, food, other
and
extras.
most of it's rap, Brad. It's not even live music. It's like laptops playing
Exactly,
beats. Stupid.
exactly. And dancers included pop stars like this Dali Lupa or whatever the fuck her name is. Check this out. Tickets alone can range from close to $600 or $599 for general admission to
Yeah.
$1,003.99 for VIP plus fees. Additional
Peanut.
expenses include travel, flights, shuttle passes, parking, camping gear, food and drinks, optional extras like merchandise and fashion. Here are the breakdowns. Ticket costs per person $599 for weekend 1 and $549 for weekend 2 plus fees. The the VIP pass, $1,299 per person for weekend one. A little bit lower for weekend two, which is $1,199 plus fees included. The shuttle pass varies depending on if bundled with a GA or VIP pass, GME, of course, being general mission. Camping ranges from basic car camping to luxury accommodations, and from safety tents to prices varying significantly. Travel and transportation flights can range from $300 to $1,000 depending on your location and time of the year. Rental car,
Food included?
250. What again?
Is food included?
Yeah, that's going to be expensive as well there. I gotta get to that just as well. Rental car, $250 for the whole weekend. Parking, $249 for the weekend plus fees. Shuttle pass varies but can be around $729 for weekend one or $679 for weekend two when bundled with a GA pass. Accommodation, camping varies greatly depending on the type of camping from 125 per person for basic car camping to thousands for luxury accommodations.
See, that's cool, but like if you do these camp out like concert or festivals, and even back in the day, Woodstock, Lollapalooza, where you could actually sleep in a tent. They have an area where you put tents up, or bring your camper if you have it or whatever.
hmm
The only issue with that is they got to let you bring an ice chest and cool,
Er,
bring your own drinks. They got to
yeah,
be fair and let you bring.
yeah, but
Or at
don't.
least if you can't bring your own alcohol, you can bring sodas, waters, keep hydrated. Like you gotta that crap is like that's the worst. And I kind of like experienced that I mean, like going to stadium shows
Mhm.
is kind of like going to like a music festival. It's not really it's going to be kind of, not the best sound, but it's going to be fucking huge and just like endless amounts of people. It's not, like the smaller club
He's here
shows.
now. Paul, what's going on, brother?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
brother,
I'm
man.
just here. I'm just here for a minute right now. Actually, I haven't even began to wind down. As if, well, no, nobody knows listening, but I'll just kind of clue the listeners in. I was in the studio today recording a new song with my band, so that's kind of why I'm late and sort of a mess today. But I
That's
just wanted to touch
understandable.
on yeah, sorry about that, but I just
It's
wanted
all
to
right.
touch on the camping and the festival stuff because my band will be doing that actually here shortly. We have two of those back to back. And man, those are a blast. YR, if you haven't done that, camped out a couple days for a music
Well, I've
festival,
never been.
especially
Look, I've never camped out in the woods in
what?
like my life.
What?
Uh, look, some people are raised in families where you're hunters, where you're blah blah blah. That's not. I've never. I like the outdoors, and I've definitely slept in a tent in the backyard when I was a kid. But you know what I'm saying?
It's kind of funny you mentioned that because I was going through the camping accommodations regarding Coachella and how expensive that is.
Oh God, yeah, no, a big one like that is a waste of money. You want to find like your local hippie scene and then go to one of those festivals.
Yeah, so
The only
Coachella,
the only Texas shit that's close to that is like South by South. Like we don't have like these big rock festivals like the Metallica and Pantera. Like these big names play every year. Like they're in like Iowa and Wisconsin. Like they're in weird Alabama. Like these big huge festivals. I can't even. They don't have that shit here. Like in Texas, they really don't. Like they
yes,
don't
they
have.
do. They have local music in Texas where you can find
No,
local
not like
musicians.
not like that. Not like the shit I like. I like the hits, motherfucker, and some of the deep stuff.
God
I
damn. So
like
you're
70
like
and
the trivia
80s. I like
bands,
70s, 80s, 90s rock hits.
like
so you'll
trivia
never
Easy.
give
bands, like the
you'll never
trivia
give
band.
new music. Never give new music or new bands or Texas bands a
I do give
try.
new I do well I do listen to Like the new Judas Priest album, the new Iron Maiden album, yes.
Yeah.
No, but like, how about like bands like mine, like and
Well, obviously,
bands
yours
even
is an exception because you know what I'm saying. It's different, but like bands like Three Doors Down, a newer band. You know what I'm saying? I do like them.
Three
Well,
I
Doors
would
Down, bro.
like go see them
No,
live. I want to see them live again so bad, dude. That concert as a Christian American male. You know, they did in a way. They did in a way that doesn't seem too weird, and I don't want to say weird and corny, but like, you know, I don't want to go to a fucking Skillet I mean, I've seen Skillet, but like, I don't want to go to like Christian band concerts per se. Like Creed and Three Doors Down did it in a way where like they do mention stuff, but like they don't,
shove it
you
down
know
your
what I mean?
throat.
Make like, yeah, it's like they do it like you know why you're here because we're all like Christians. They say certain things that but it's a fucking rock show. It's rock and roll. It's rock. It's not like Creed is not Christian rock, bro. Creed is one of the greatest bands that came out of the '90s, bro. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand. People like Creed is back so much right now, and Nickelback. I think they're dialing it down because Chad Kroger. I don't know, like he's having issues vocally or something. I seen something like that, but like
are you
those two
serious,
bands,
bro?
I'm telling Nickelback is just is you know, like I don't like them as much as Creed, but like bro, people can't really shit. I mean, you look at some of the shit's going on right now, like this whole Ozzy thing, which there was some news on that. Ozzy's pretty much going to be sitting down, and Sammy Hagar said he's going to sing "Flying High" again, Paul 3. That's the
Is he
song that he
really?
was.
No, 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 no.
Now
That's
Don't
that's going
troll
to
confirmed.
be a
me.
trip and a half without a
That's
Do
question.
not.
confirmed.
No,
That's confirmed.
do not
That's
troll me
confirmed.
because it was months ago on this channel that I had said I fucking hope Sammy sings that song. Do not troll me. Is that
He's gonna
real?
sing. He said he's singing a Montrose song and "Flying High" again. That's what he
Oh
said.
Hmm.
my god,
Interesting.
that's
They're
gonna
Which
very
that's a
be.
good.
interesting.
That's a good. I would look if it was me. I don't know why they're
Wow.
not doing it. It must be some weird stuff, but like Wolfgang Van Halen's gonna be there, bro. Sammy Hagar's gonna. Why not have them both do like "My Mom Coming Home" or I don't know,
No,
like
no, no. That's gonna be legendary, bro. This might be one of the definitive versions of this song with Sammy on vocals. This could be. I'm not gonna say it's excuse me better than the original, but I'm gonna fuck man. This might be the best
well,
live
look,
version of this song ever.
I'm gonna try real hard and just it's you know I've been saving up, but and I'll leave it at that. You know, I've been saving up for some epic events and everything, concerts, whatever. I really want to go to Vegas and see. Look, that Sammy Hagar residency is going on right now, Paul 3, and they
Yeah, no.
started last night, and they did. You know, John Bonham's mom had like a health issues, so I did see John Bonham play.
You mean
No,
Jason?
Jason Bonham.
Jason
Yeah,
Bonham,
I
yeah,
was going to
Jason
say,
Bonham was
man.
the
Yeah.
I did see him play with the, you know, I did see him on that tour, and like a few dates later, they, you know, subbed in Kenny Aronoff,
Oh
and
my god.
Kenny Aronoff. I know, I
Love
get
it.
it, but he did an interview with Eddie Trunk like 2 days ago, and Kenny Aronoff. I mean, he's been on the Tonight Show. I mean, he's drummed for like everyone pretty much,
John
but he
I
know.
Mellencamp.
just
I
say
mean,
real quick. Let me just say music fact about Kenny Aronoff. I'm not cutting you off. I just want to compliment your thing. Kenny Aronoff did the drum break. Well, he played drums on Jack and Diane and for John Cougar Mellencamp. And if you listen to that classic drum break in Jack and Diane, that is Kenny Aronoff.
Yeah, so
well,
remember,
he did. He did ask to. He was going to be one of the people to play to be the drummer for this new AC/DC thing. But like his date, they wanted like 10 days in a row. They needed him or something, and he couldn't. But like you know, the point is back to the Hagar thing. They added some songs to the set list, and they took some out. And Paul 3. I mean, these are some. I want to read. You know the set. You know, I'll compare it to the set list I watched. But like this, they're adding some great songs, man. And this is pisses me off that I don't. You know, this is one of my favorite songs. But look, so they opened the show with that new Paul 3. Have you heard that new song that he came out with, Hagar?
I have not.
It's pretty
It's
good. Very,
dedicated.
very good. Most
It's about
definitely.
it's about Eddie. It's about Eddie Van Halen,
Yeah.
and
Okay. I saw the press on this, but I haven't heard the song yet.
he said he dreamed up about this, that they created a song. Like he talked about this like kind of before the whole tour, a couple years ago. So it's been like in the ether, but like so he made this blah blah blah. The video came out, blah blah blah. It's a great song. I mean, this is the new Hagar Sam, the Hagar era Van Halen now. Just like I mean, this is what we're getting with live music in these bands. You look at the Pantera, you look at this new Van Halen. You have Joe Satriani on guitar. Eddie Van Halen passed. On the Pantera side, you have Zach Wild on guitar. Obviously, Dime passed. So like you're getting these mega huge. It's almost like these super groups for these bands with these logos, because that's what sells is logos. I mean, it really should be called like Pantera 2.0 or something. You know what I'm saying? But the logos and the T-shirt, all the merch, it's all about the logo, bro. It's very important.
Yeah.
So like you're getting these hybrid bands, but I mean, like you're not. I mean, look, if you get a name, if you're getting a name like Joe Satriani, who gave lessons to Steve Vai.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Vai, sympathizer, Paul 3, by the way. And I didn't know this. I was learning this. Like, Joe Satriani really is the man. You know what I'm saying?
He is.
Like, he
I
really
love
is.
Steve Vai, bro. I love Steve Vai. I got to see him live with King Crimson. Well, the King Crimson tribute, I guess, with Adrian Belew. Dude, the greatest guitar player I've ever seen live, and I've seen Clapton live. I've seen a lot of the great guitar players live. By far, the greatest. I've seen
Uh,
Clapton. I've seen Buddy Guy. I've seen Robin Trower. I've seen Martin Barr. Bro, I've seen some great guitar players, but Steve Vai takes the fucking cake for live guitar players I've seen. Amazing.
he
It'll
is.
blow your mind.
He did combine with Joe Satriani. They're doing like they have their own band, like a singer. They're adding. I mean, it's a thing. They just. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like 6 months
that's
ago.
Vai.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
And
real
let's not
thing that's going
forget the
on.
G3 tours that they did together, featuring every other guitar player that's out there.
I mean, I'm not really into. I mean, like, I'm not really into the whole instrumental guitar thing. I mean, I love guitar and everything, but I don't know. You gotta have some more for that. I mean, that's why I really like the John 5 concerts. I really haven't pushed the button on. He comes around all the time, like, because it's really all instrumental. I mean, but eventually I'll go see them. But like this whole, I don't know, this Aussie thing, like, they really need to they need to put that live on YouTube or something, like it'll be such a waste. Like they did that comedy thing for WrestleMania with what's his name, with the Kill Tony people and all that. Like, bro, they didn't like make. I mean, they might have recorded it and present that later on Netflix, but like, this is. Damn it, there's got to be. I don't know. There'll be people putting up videos, 1,000%, but I want to see this live, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see this. I mean, Sabbath's gonna be there no matter. Tony Iommi's gonna be playing guitar. It's gonna be Geezer Butler's gonna be playing. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be
Bill
on.
Ward
They're gonna
included,
be playing.
yes.
The original Sabbath will be playing their instruments,
Would you
but
pay like $40 to watch it live? Like a
yeah,
pay-per-view?
yeah, I would hit that.
You know
What's
what?
the most you would pay live to watch it on YouTube?
Watch something, bro. Like
Live
that's
on
no,
YouTube.
like 40.
Yeah, probably
50.
me
I
too.
mean, you know what I'm saying like 50s. I paid for WrestleMania, uh, 30 or something. I don't know. I think it was 30.
What? Why won't you
Because
just get
that's when it
Peacock?
was before. It was before it was before it was the WWE app, WWE Network. It was before all that, and I really wanted. I think it was. It might have been the whole Daniel Bryan shit. Actually,
Mm.
it might have been the whole. I mean, that was so hot at the time. So I paid the 50 on the TV, on that. But like, we're so spoiled being able to see these pay-per-views and shit now. These AEW things, like the WWE. I mean, obviously, if you have Peacock, it's not a problem. But you can still see all this shit for free. Like,
Yeah.
all this shit. Look, keep in mind this Aussie thing. All the money, all the concert, all the proceeds is going to charity. I think it's like an Alzheimer's
Wow.
charity or something. So keep that in mind. Like all these artists, they're getting invited. They're not getting paid per se. You know, the concert obviously isn't free for people who go see it. You have to pay. But all that money's going into charity. So, you know, I don't know. I would probably hit a little bit more. It depends. Like they're not going to ask $100 to watch it live if they did have that option. It would probably be like a, you know, under $40, $50 option. I mean, 50 is a lot. Like they should just be able, hey, you donate, you can get this stream or something. Like, but this is so huge in history of rock and metal, really metal, heavy metal. I mean, we're talking,
We're
dude, we're
talking
talking,
hours. We're talking hours, bro. This is not just going to be like a 1 hour, or even like a 2 hour, like WWE fucking pay per view. This is going to be like probably a
yeah.
4 or 5 hour deal.
I mean, Metallica, you're gonna get a full, you know, probably, you know, they're gonna do. It's gonna be all these bands doing Sabbath songs. You're gonna have Ozzy. He's at least gonna do one song. Like people, it's not gonna be full sets. You're at least gonna get one song out of him with Sabbath again, which will probably be like stupid Iron Man or something.
Yeah, I
Oh,
tell you what I want to see in this at the part of this show. I really want to see a Lemmy Kilmister tribute at this show because he was an important part of Ozzy's career. He wrote a lot of great songs, "Mama, I'm Coming Home," "Hellraiser." I mean,
Yep.
he was a big part of Ozzy's career. So
I
I
He
think
want to see
was,
a
what's her
yes.
name
tribute.
is. I think. Can someone pull up like a current? You can even run it through Grok AI. The current lineup for this Aussie thing, because they should have everyone booked by now.
Right there.
Because it's coming
Well,
up. And like,
let me say this about in terms of YouTube and, of course, this Ozzy Sabbath show. I'll bet you there are going to be some people out there recording bits and pieces from this show. And I know I'm not too sure, I'm not too correct if they're going to do this, but I'm thinking there may be some out there that's going to possibly stream it live on their phones through
yeah, I'm
YouTube.
gonna be checking. I'm gonna be checking. You know, X is pretty. You know, for lives. You know, YouTube live during the concert. People don't really. I mean, some people hit that, but I don't. You know, people really upload the videos pretty quick.
Yes.
You know, obviously you search around, you'll see what you can get.
But
Because
keep in
honestly,
mind,
in these shows, your phone connection isn't really great for hitting live. I mean, I've tried it. I've tried doing live, and I did it with, you know, the hockey went live sometimes, and it's
yeah,
not, you know, everyone else is on their phone at the same time. It's not that great,
Mm-mm.
but they do have Wi-Fi at some of these stadiums and all that too. So
that's true there.
really,
Yes.
the best method is recording the video. But there will be obvious. I mean, look, they're gonna have to play this live through, you know, like a Pantera official YouTube channel, live, like something, dude. I mean, obviously those individual bands will probably have their, you know,
I'm
Well,
thinking they
think
will.
about this. Think about this. I mean, the revenue that they can get from a live video with ads, like they can use that as money for whatever charity that they're running too. I mean, my God, like the potential, the super chats, even that people would probably send during that live would probably be crazy too. So they would be, I think they would be foolish to not do it as a live concert and to release it later. I think that would be kind of stupid.
I'm
does
thinking
someone
maybe
have an? Can
something
somebody?
like a Jerry
Can
Lewis telethon.
Dr. Brown?
Yes.
Can you do yeah, like how they did the fire thing with L.A. Because that
Yes,
Yeah.
was what,
Yeah.
you know,
exactly.
kind of what they produced, and this might be like people like Maine or James Keenan from Tool are saying in interviews, like, I mean, we don't really know what to expect type thing. He's not being like a dick saying that, but he's like, yeah, we planned for. He quote me. He said we planned for the worst. So yeah, like Ozzy and all them may have planned. Yeah, Ozzy's gonna do 8 songs, but really he might only be able to do like 2 or 3. But then I mean, obviously everyone's gonna get their everyone who all the bands that ever got invited are gonna get their pieces in because obviously they're giving out songs now to people. Like Sammy Hagar is gonna do Flying High again, so obviously Ozzy's not gonna do Flying High again.
Yeah.
So you know, obviously I think Ozzy's whatever he's gonna do, I predict is gonna be with Sabbath, because that's really how it all. This whole idea was birthed as as a Sabbath last show
Mhm.
with the original band. No Tommy Dreamer on drums, none of that,
Tommy
or whatever
Dreamer?
his name is. That guy who Tommy Crufettos. My
Yeah,
bad.
the guy who filled in during their last ever tour.
Yeah, it's gonna be Bill Ward, like for real. It's gonna be the real deal. So obviously age, people are, older. Bill Ward's old, blah blah blah. We know Tony Iommi's active and everything.
Well, what I think
Geezer
is
is
going to
still covered as
happen
well there.
What I think is going to happen is there's going to be a whole fiasco. Like, if you follow the WWE Hall of Fame and Lex Luger, he actually had a fall the day before or the morning of the Hall of Fame. So he couldn't do his whole
Wow.
planned, like, yeah, he couldn't do his whole planned walk to the stage or
Wow.
cross the stage. So he could only get wheeled out and then stand up and kind of like shuffle to the podium. But I feel like, I don't know, it's just me, but I feel like this is too good to be true. I feel like Ozzy's gonna have like some sort of like issue. There's gonna be like a last minute weird thing, and then he's not gonna perform. He's just gonna come out and maybe say hi to the crowd in a wheelchair, and they'll have like James Hetfield and other people fill in or something like that.
Yeah.
Would
He's
you?
gonna 1,000%. No, I know, like anything can happen, but like he is over there where the concert's gonna be. I think he's training, blah blah blah, doing it. It's not like he's gonna have to travel. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta keep in mind, Paul Three, when you start getting these international dates, that's gonna work on your body, man. Traveling
Oh yeah,
around.
no doubt. I know, but he's also like not doing good, like I said, and I can just foresee something horrible going wrong. And like how disappointed would you be? Would you just not care about it at that point? Would it not be worth
I
watching
would
or
spend $500 right now to get in that building, standing room only. I don't give a shit. I would spend so much money to go to this.
I
Honestly,
probably
like I
would
would.
too.
I mean, it's like you're gonna get everyone, bro. Can Brown? Did you look up the lineup for this? A current lineup?
Well, let me get up here. Give me a couple of seconds here.
If one of y'all can run it through AI, what's the current lineup for this? The Sabbath thing. It'll give you the most best shit.
Okay, let me get this here. Lineup for the Back
Paul,
to the Beginning concert.
Paul, did you ever get the jab?
But who?
The jab?
What's
You ever
that?
get it?
Oh no,
You never got
no,
that for Brown? You got that
no.
right.
Yeah, for the COVID, yes, back in 2021. Okay, here are the sources
Me and
from the web. Black Sabbath, Ozzy, Black Sabbath, Guns N' Roses, Chad Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Whoa! Guns N' Roses is gonna be there?
Yes, it was
I
announced
fucking
weeks back.
knew. Listen, oh my god.
Andrew Wada, not too sure about who he is. Megadeth's going to be there. David Ellefson, the former bass player from Megadeth. Living Color, along with their guitarist Vernon Reed. Ugly Kid Joe.
CM
With
Punk.
let's see here.
I heard
That
Paul
would be
Heyman.
cool.
I heard
That'd be
Paul
cool,
Heyman's
CM
gonna be
Punk.
there. Yeah, Paul
CM Punk.
Heyman's gonna be there.
Oh yeah, obviously because hell, they did his theme music live at the WrestleMania.
Well, what's his
And
name's gonna be there? Slayer's there.
let me just say that if you go back and listen to that version that Living Color did at WrestleMania, the fucking lead singer, bro, he has to be in his 50s. He has to be. Bro, he does a falsetto that will blow your fucking balls off. Okay? Like, this guy's voice is still incredible. So, next time you get a free moment, go back and watch CM Punk's entrance from WrestleMania. Don't watch the whole match. But and listen to the dude, listen to his vocal.
Yeah,
I don't know
Corey
his name,
Glover.
unfortunately.
Brown,
Listen,
did you see
listen,
that?
bro.
Yes, yes,
Listen to his voice.
I did watch that. I saw that as well. Okay, other performers at the upcoming show here with
I did
Ozzy
mark
and
out.
Sabbath. Okay, Pantera, Slayer, Hailstorm, Lamb of God, Mastodon, Anthrax, Rival Sons, Andrew Watt, Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins, Chad Smith, as I mentioned, David Draymond from Disturbed.
Gojira is going to be there. The band, that metal band who played at the Olympics, will be there. Gojira, that
Hmm.
French band.
All
Really?
right. Mike Borden, the drummer
Yes.
from Faith No More, and Ozzy as well. Papa V from
which is
Ghost.
big news because they made major waves playing at the Olympics. They were that band on the side of that building, if you remember.
Mhm.
Yeah, Gojira. They're fucking great band.
Okay, and musical director Tom
Really?
Morello. And musical director,
Jakey Lee.
yeah, he's going to be there just
So
as
they
well.
why wouldn't
Now I want to
why
see.
wouldn't they gotta make this live, dude?
You know what? I'm going to
I mean,
be
look,
agreeing with the guys
they
even
really
more
might
now.
record it and play it later. They might record it and play it later, or have it available later somewhere.
Maybe
So
so. We
That'll
do not
suck.
know.
I don't want
if
that.
if
I
they're
want
not
it
playing,
live.
if they don't shoot this live, they're definitely professionally recording this for
Mhm.
some purpose. And, like, there's gonna be
Yeah, but bro, DVDs are no longer like a thing anymore. The new DVDs are live videos. So I mean, they should just go live with it.
Or better yet, do go live on
YouTube is the new
Netflix.
DVDs, bro.
Or maybe on
because
Netflix.
after this,
That's smart, Brown.
this is
Yeah.
That's smart, Brown. Wait a minute. That's really smart. That's a genius comment because actually what they might do is link up with a streaming service. I'm not saying Netflix in particular. It might be like an HBO Max or
or
something like
X.
that. I could see
Put it
that.
live on X with Elon. Hit
No,
Starlink
no,
so it's a
Never
good
mind
connection.
X.
Come on,
no,
dickhead,
no,
bro. Black
no.
Sabbath
Brown
on.
is right. Bro,
You know how cool that sounds?
no, that is bullshit and that is stupid. Brown, I think, hit the nail on the
I'm
head, really.
traveling on X with it on. Come on.
No. No, I
Oh,
think it's gonna be a streaming service like Netflix or HBO Max. That's
or
genius. I didn't
Paramount
even think of that.
Plus.
Look, if
Yes.
WWE didn't stream live that comedy thing, I really have no hope for. I mean, there's some type of events that are like you got to be there to see it only, and this might be that. You have to pay a ticket to this and go travel to see this. Just like the Sammy Hagar residencies, you got to go. You can't watch it on TV. You got to go see it.
They weren't trying to raise money for the roast, and also they didn't want that out there. I actually had the full audio of the WrestleMania roast, but it got taken down in like an hour before I could rip it.
What? Okay, so Brown.
Yeah.
Let me find the Billy. Let me find. This is a good the Maynard James Keenan comments on this,
All right.
which I had the opportunity to go see Tool last year, but I had to go to Oklahoma, and I was like, nah, and I should have hit that. So
Where's
what do you
Prince
think?
at?
I don't know. I was going to
Someone
ask.
check this.
Go ahead. I don't know.
I got one person.
What is a Prince's name on Discord by chance? Let's see if I can go add him into the show here. Give me a couple of seconds here. All right. Add create invite.
Discord. I'm gonna send the link in here, Dr. Brown. This Maynard James Keenan deal. I'm gonna send it to you in the teams too, Dr. Brown.
All right, there. It says no results found for Prince Ido, so that's a no-go. All right. Where is it in links, music news?
Nah, I put it in general, I think.
Okay, let me check there.
I could put in music. I could put in music news.
Okay. Because right now I don't see that much
It's the
here.
iHeart.
Oh, iHeart Radio Music Festival. Okay, there. Okay. According to iHeart.com, Maynard James Keenan, the frontman of Tool, is unsure if Ozzy will be able to play his final gig.
Wait! I want Paul 3 to hear this.
All right, there.
Let's wait till Paul 3 comes back. I want
All
this
right, there.
important. Brown, when's the last time you changed your strings on your guitar?
It's been a while there. Been a long while. Anyway, here's the article. It says, but I will sometime soon.
Wait.
Anyways, let me read.
Wait, Dr. Brown, wait till Paul 3 comes back so he can hear the article.
Okay, there.
What is it? All right, I'm here.
Okay,
All right,
here's
Paul
the
3,
article.
ready? All right, this is
Okay, here's the article.
talking about.
Okay, it says here Maynard James Keenan is not convinced that Ozzy will be able to perform physically. The Tool singer who helped induct Ozzy into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last fall spoke about his concerns in a new interview. Before touching on Ozzy's physical limitations, Keenan explained how his band Tool got invited to perform at the Back to the Beginning extravaganza. He said, quote, the conversation first came up when I was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame hanging out with Wolfgang Van Halen, some of the guys. I think Robert Trujillo, the bass player from Metallica. We were on the travel over there, just going, okay, well, there's a rumor about the Black Sabbath show. I was like, well, let's do something. So I kind of planned a song to do, and all of a sudden, boom, I'm at home and I get the call. Hey, Two's been
By the way,
asked
real
to do a
quick,
song.
Dr.
What?
Brown, real quick. People were saying when he did sing the song for the Hall of Fame, it wasn't that great. Maynard James Keenan singing the Ozzy song. Go back and listen to it. It's not that great, honestly.
Right there.
And that's just not a lot of people saying that.
Right there.
Not the right song for him to sing. In other
All right
words,
there.
like not the right
Well,
choice
I
of song.
mean, I think he has the right to think that because I just read an article with Sammy Hagar, an interview, and he said, yes, he will be singing Flying High again, but he also let it slip that Ozzy is doing 5 solo songs, and
Oh,
one of the solo songs that Ozzy wants to sing is No More Tears, but
Mm.
he also told Sammy Hagar if he can't do it for some reason, then he wants Sammy to sing No More Tears and Flying High again.
Oh, that'll be it.
whoa! This
That'll be
breaking
interesting.
news. Hold on, whoa! Breaking news, bro. This what I'm saying. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. This whole Black Sabbath thing. Maybe we need to throw that in the title. Black Sabbath reunion. I mean, I know we talked about it before when this news first came out, but we're getting closer. A lot of shit's coming out this week about it. As you
I
know,
feel like
Paul
it is
Tre's finding
perfectly,
shit. You gotta go ahead.
yeah, no, I feel like it's perfectly acceptable for us to cover this damn concert until even after it happens because this is some of the biggest rock news that we've had in years.
I know it is.
Now
I mean,
this
like
is
this is big.
this is. It's a shame we can't go to this, but I'm sure they're gonna. We're gonna see videos and we're gonna see everything on this. I'm probably gonna call into Eddie Trunk show on this. Um, okay, so you got to think like KK's priest, KK Downing's going to be there. He doesn't sing; he plays guitar. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting. Like obviously he's going to, with these groups, with the Metallicas, they're going to get, you're going to get their flavor and you're going to get them cover Ozzy or Sabbath. Probably, I don't know, depends on what songs. I would assume that Sabbath. I would say this. I would throw this in there. The Sabbath band, Tony Iommi,
Bill
Bill
Ward,
Ward,
Geezer Butler.
and Geezer Butler. That three piece will do a lot of Sabbath stuff with guest singers.
Hmm.
Yes,
So think
that's what I
about
was
that,
thinking.
Yeah,
which would be cool. You're gonna
interesting.
get Metallica as a band. They'll do a song and they'll do one of theirs. But think about Billy Corgan. What in the fuck's Billy Corgan gonna sing?
Well,
He's gonna have Sabbath backing him. I mean, I don't know. With Sammy, he's not gonna have Sabbath backing him because he's doing Ozzy songs, but he might have a Jakey Lee on guitar.
yeah,
No. You know what? They got to do it. They got to do with what they got to pair him with Wolfgang, bro. Unless they and look, this will be very telling if they don't pair, and they got to do this because that's what they're gonna do. Yeah, they're gonna have Ozzy do his stuff with the Sabbath band, but they're gonna break off and do some other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Ozzy's gonna sing maybe a song with a solo song. So he's doing five. So I'm gonna have Sabbath as a band do Ozzy solo songs. So you're gonna have the Jakey Lee portion. So that's gonna be 1,000%. You're gonna have Jakey Lee. Bark of the Moon. Ozzy's gonna do Bark of the Moon. It's probably part of the solo song.
No, wait, no, I gotta say, I gotta ask you a question. I gotta say, I don't know. What do you think? I don't think Jake E. Lee is gonna be on the same stage as Ozzy. I think Jake E. Lee is gonna be there with another singer.
That's weird. Come on. It's their last thing though. If that was the case, he wouldn't even got the invite, Fall
I
3.
don't see it happening, bro. I just do not see it happening.
Look, all I'm saying, if they don't pair Hagar with Wolfgang, there's definitely some weird beef that they don't want public. But Sammy Hagar's pretty like open and shit. You know what I'm saying? He's ask him anything on Eddie Trunk's show, like Eddie talks about, they whatever. He's really cool. He's cool for real, like in real life, like Sammy Hagar.
Mm-hmm.
You go to his
Hey,
shows, you can bring audio toss. Yeah, go ahead.
who's singing "Bark at the Moon" if Ozzy's not singing it? Because I'm like going through my mind right now.
No,
I don't
I'll
know if
put
I can
money.
hear.
I'll put money down. I can put money. I'll bet that he's doing Bark the Moon with Jake Lee at least once. They're
Really,
gonna. Yeah, I mean it's this is the
I'm
moment for
not
them to
seeing
get
that
that.
vision. I am not seeing that vision. I don't think Ozzy's strong enough to do the entire song, and that's why I don't think it's gonna happen. I
So
really
yeah, like
don't.
Jake Lee
Well,
on guitar and Billy
well,
Corgan
if
singing.
that's
Yes,
possible,
yes.
Paul, who would you like to sing "Bark at the Moon"?
I'm thinking I don't want to see James Hetfield sing it. I don't want to see Billy Corgan sing it. I'm not. I need a couple more names. Like I don't think the guy from Lamb of God
Guys,
is going to
Ozzy's
sing it.
gonna be able to do. Ozzy's gonna
He's
look.
not singing that.
Ozzy. If Ozzy can sit, which he said he's gonna be sitting most of the time. I mean, you can. A lot of singers can sing fine if they're sitting. Like people like the standing thing that really kills people's legs and knees, and you can understand that. But like when you're sitting with an older person, there's a lot of older people, a lot of senior citizens, guys that do sit down or are like wheelchair bound, for life or whatever, and that's a thing. But other than that, they can talk, they can watch TV, they can talk on the phone, they can write. They can, you know what I mean? They can eat, but you're just in a chair, like Lex Luger.
Yeah.
Nah,
So
bro. He even said himself he's only doing bits and pieces. I would
oh,
like to see Phil Anselmo from Pantera and Jakey Lee do "Bark at the Moon." That would be
That
fucking
would be a
sick,
good
bro.
idea.
Yeah,
That would be
that's
interesting.
I would be
Very
perfectly okay with
interesting.
that. Perfectly okay with that, bro.
they're
So
gonna
that's
come
gonna.
out.
I'm starting to.
He's gonna come out with Sabbath and do stuff like 1,000% before any of his solo shit. Before any of all that,
Hmm.
Sabbath will be the first act, don't you think? Or you think they're gonna bring
What?
out Sabbath last?
No.
We do not
No,
know yet.
Sabbath is gonna be the fucking Roman Reigns, fucking Cody Rhodes, John Cena match, bro. Sabbath is gonna
Not
be the
yet.
main event. Yeah, they're not coming out yet, dude. Like,
No.
I think the solo career stuff might be like
The
the
first.
night one WrestleMania main event, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how you do that. That's gonna be a hard show to book.
I think it's going
You
to
really don't
take.
think Ozzy and all them's gonna be first?
I think
No, I don't
so.
think you're
Maybe
seeing Sabbath
so.
to the end of the night. What do you think, Brown?
I think they're going to possibly do some Ozzy stuff first from his solo career with all the names that was mentioned, and then they're going to get down to the nitty gritty. Black Sabbath, the band that inspired almost every heavy metal band out there. I mean, like this is their
Brown,
last show.
did you
You
or like
you
I mean
think
look,
Sabbath is
Paul
coming
3,
out
you're right.
early?
Paul 3, you're right. Look, I predict the bits and pieces thing. Ozzy's gonna be throughout the show, but he's gonna sing a little bit, blah blah blah, in the chair. Ozzy's gonna be in that chair watching this whole thing. Okay, Ozzy's gonna be in a big throne thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and
Oh
he's gonna
wow.
be watching this whole performance. I feel like, or
That
whatever
would
it
be a
needs to
good
be.
look.
He's gonna hop on the mic, start off the songs, and then maybe in the other verses, the other artists will come out, or they'll already be there, and they'll be on the songs.
Yeah,
Obviously, if the
like
artist
duet,
comes out, it'll
No.
pump the audience better.
like duets.
No. That's not gonna happen. That would be amazing. I'm gonna book this show real
Duet,
quick
yes,
in 1 minute.
duet.
1 minute. Here's the show. What you're gonna have is you're gonna open it up, maybe show like a video package or something like that. And then what you're gonna have in the beginning is literally just a series of bands paying tribute to Ozzy. We're gonna get a couple mix match kind of things, maybe like Slayer, doing a song maybe with Metallica. I don't know if it's gonna be that crazy. Maybe more of like Jakey Lee with singers and bands and stuff like that. I don't know if we're gonna have bands meshing, but okay, I'm getting off track. I think the first part is going to be tributes. I think maybe they'll bring Ozzy out for some solo stuff, and then I think we'll see Sabbath. I don't think we're seeing Ozzy or Sabbath until the end of the night. I love the idea. I do love the idea of Ozzy being there the entire night in a chair and being visible. I don't think it's going to happen though. I just see him
And like he
being
just
rushed
hops on the
out.
mic when he needs, when he, you know what I'm saying? Just and
No,
you know,
no, it's not gonna happen. Dude, that's like a dream. Like you're booking like fucking dream match right now.
like
That
this
sounds
is
great.
what
But
this is, bro. This is like the one of the greatest
no.
concerts I could think of in modern times.
Yeah, but he's a really old man with Parkinson's, dude. Like that's the thing. Like
And
he
multiple surgeries as well. Let's keep in mind the No More Tours 2 tour that he did in 2018 that got cut way short because he had to have surgery on his
Even
spine.
if it wasn't a tribute to Black Sabbath, it's still all these bands together for one night. Like when do you never get that. GNR, Metallica, Pantera, Billy Corgan, Sammy Hagar. I mean, you're getting like your Van Halen. If they do it right, they'll do it with a Van Halen, wing to it with Wolfgang and Sammy together. Okay, that would be so proper and
Oh,
appropriate.
bro.
Mm.
Like, come on, man. I'm the best
Wow.
booker for concerts. Like, bro, they would have to, and if they don't do that, 1000% Wolfgang Van Halen is beefing with Sammy Hagar or vice versa. Because I
That
know
would just be crazy.
Michael Anthony is confirmed cool with Wolfgang. Like he went to one of his concerts recently, and they, you know what I'm saying. But like Wolfgang doesn't want to. I mean, you would think Wolfgang would be on guitar, and this guy would be nah. Like he wants to do his own thing and have his own identity. Blah blah blah. Which is cool. That's the easy way is to join in with. But they need to do this. They haven't done it. There's not going to be like a celebration for Eddie because that got cooked.
That
Like
got
David Lee
cooked.
Roth threw it.
That got destroyed a long time ago. So they're gonna do definitely got to celebrate
They would
Black
have to do
Sabbath.
this. You're going to get Sammy Hagar. And keep in mind that's the only thing that's like not it's not confirmed because Sammy Hagar said in that article he's doing the Montrose song. Didn't say anything about Van Halen.
Which
Yeah,
So it's
but
like
dude,
now which
you're not
Montrose
gonna
did he
have
here's
do?
me.
Wolfgang on guitar for a Montrose song. You would have him for
No,
Van
yeah, but
Halen.
how about fucking open it up with Bad Motor Scooter by
Mm.
Montrose? Maybe kick it out with the Flying High Again, and then bring out Wolfgang Van Halen. What Sammy era song would you like to see Wolfgang do with Sammy?
Well, there's a lot
Well,
there.
well,
Well,
what's
let's
their? Well, probably
You got
right here.
one.
Probably right now. I mean,
Yeah.
what was their biggest song? Brown,
oh,
Hagar.
they had so many, but the biggest one that comes to
Nah,
mind
what's the
was
biggest
either
one?
it's
Gotta be
hard.
right now, right?
Well, right now the one that gets mentioned a lot was, of course, the one you just mentioned. Right now, but let's also not forget why can't this be love? There's also
Oh,
Get Up. There's
finish what
also
you started.
yep, absolutely. That was a big one. Of
Well,
course,
everyone knows that piano part from right now. You put it on, everyone will say, "Yeah, I heard that song before." Like
exactly.
that's what I'm
You
talking
and
about. What's that one song that everyone, what I'm saying? That's got to be it.
Why Can't This Be Love would be huge though. That
Yeah,
would be
it's not.
sick.
That's not Sabbath, bro. That's not dark. That's not. Come
That's
on.
true.
That I'm thinking like right now. That's not necessarily lovey-dovey. I mean, it kind of is in a way. It's
Mhm.
kind of ballady, but it's like it's an in the moment song. But Dr. Brown did those in the moment
Yeah,
songs. Like
exactly.
you're in the moment,
Yeah,
and that's what
exactly.
that is.
Now, my question is, do you think Guns N' Roses is added to the bill? You think Axl Rose is going to participate as well?
Look, I look for like, and I got to be honest. I haven't said this publicly, but like for all my life, I've never really been into GNR.
Mm,
But I've seen a couple GNR tributes,
hmm
and they played songs I never heard before. And I go home and listen to those songs and get into those songs. I mean, yeah, it's a tribute, but still, I mean, that's another power of the tributes, Paul Three. That it does spread the music. If there's stuff I haven't heard of, I go look up after tribute shows, bro. I'm like, wow, from the original band, obviously.
Yeah, and by the
But
way, let me throw this
what I
in
was
here.
saying, well, hey, go ahead.
Wait, by the way, speaking of Sabbath, let's not forget Axel did So like
Oh yeah,
him and
hey,
his.
I was here finished. Okay, so yeah, the Guns N' Roses thing. So real quick, for years I really wasn't into GNR, and then the tributes, whatever, like some songs I like more and stuff. But like, really, I want to see him live so bad, and I know Axl Rose sucks so bad too. But you know, and I was going back on the ACDC, listening to some of those videos, Paul 3, and Eddie Trunk saw them in LA, like, last Sunday. And, it is like everyone's saying, like, yeah, it's Brian Johnson's gone, but he does run out of gas, obviously.
Mhm.
That's one of misstep, blah, blah, blah. But like, there's point, bro, especially if you're drinking. I was drinking water during that show. If you're drinking, sometimes you don't really need the best vocals, bro. I mean, that guitar going, that music going. I mean, that's why like GNR is still going. Like he sucks, but you still got Slash. I want to go to that shit so bad, and they toured a lot past 10 years, like too much.
They did.
But
I
it's
could
that.
see GNR playing Mr. Crowley. I could hear Axel probably singing Mr.
Well,
Crowley.
keep in
That,
mind, I was going to
I
mention
don't,
this earlier. Axe on the Guns N' Roses live record, Live Era, Axel did himself with the piano doing a Sabbath song called It's All Right. However, that song was sung originally by Bill Ward from 1976.
wow,
Yeah, I
that's
still
strange.
it's a pretty good song. I highly recommend it. In fact, I recommend the whole album,
Who?
Technical Ecstasy from '76.
That's a great song, or that's a great album. Who is singing Changes? Who is singing Changes?
Hmm.
Lita Ford's coming out with now. Lita Ford's band. Lita Ford will not be there.
You know,
Okay,
maybe
that's
Lizzie
confirmed. They're
Hale.
gonna have Nita Strauss. Lizzie Hale's gonna be
Oh,
the singer.
Lizzie Hale singing Changes would be sick.
It'll be
Because
yes.
Shannon Osbourne doesn't like she doesn't like Lita Ford,
Mm.
because Lita Ford date Ozzy? Oh no, she married Dr. Brown back in the day,
No,
actually.
no. Lita Ford briefly dated Tony Iommi.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's so many acts that we're really gonna I think we're gonna get a couple deep tracks or like, stuff that's not so popular because there are so many acts and you gotta divvy up the music somehow. Not everybody can sing fucking Crazy Train, so it's gonna be interesting to see all the different choices. Hopefully we get some deeper stuff like You're No Different or I Don't Know. I would like to hear I Don't
No,
Know a
no,
lot
no,
of.
Yeah.
bro, the guest singers and the guest bands, I predict it's not going to be any Sabbath songs. They're going to get all their Sabbath from Sabbath themselves
Hmm.
with a guest singer, if not with Ozzy. All the Sabbath songs will be with Iommi on guitar, 1,000% with the band. Like,
No, no, you're gonna get other Sabbath songs, dude. There's so
I
much
think
Sabbath,
so.
like you need somebody playing, dude. I want to hear Metallica cover Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Like
Oh
that would
yeah.
be sick, man.
I think that could be Anthrax's job because they did a cover of that
Oh,
song years ago. I'm thinking maybe.
Really?
Do you think? Yeah, exactly. Look up Attack. Look up. I guess it was one of their earlier records around 90, 91. They did their version of that song. But you know what? It would be
that's
a
a
good
great.
opportunity. I made a video about this. It would be a good opportunity to have Tony Martin come in and sing with Sabbath and Ozzy as well.
They will never do
Bro,
that. They're not bringing
I,
in no old. They're not bringing in no. They're not going to do any. Listen, they're not doing any Sabbath Dio stuff. This is all
What
confirmed,
doesn't
Brown.
have to be
They're not.
Dio?
No, they're not doing. This is all about Ozzy and Sabbath era. This is no other eras, no other singers. It's nothing. The
I'm
set. The
glad. I'm glad Brown brought that up though, because I was thinking of that, the Tony Martin stuff. Like, you don't even think they're gonna like fly him out and give him like, like a box
nothing.
suite or something. No.
Nothing. Nothing. They're doing zero on the Dio stuff, which was better than the Paul 3 stuff.
Well, they're not doing any of the Ian Gillan stuff. I don't think they're gonna come out and cover
None of
Keep
that.
It
Brown.
Warm.
Yeah,
Brown. This is gonna be so huge, but it's all about I mean, it's Ozzy,
I
Ozzy,
know it's all
Ozzy.
about Ozzy. I realize that, but it was just something that came to my mind many weeks back. Thought I'd throw that in the mix.
There's a better chance of Paul 3 showing up on that stage than all that happening, I'm telling you.
I would love to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul 3 on guitar tonight.
Dude, I would rock the fuck out of that. I would break a guitar. I would smash a guitar, throw it in the crowd. I'd be insane. I would probably jump into the drum set, like do a straight front flip into the drum set. I'd attack the drummer. I'd probably find out where Ozzy was and then go over there and choke him. And like
Oh
drag
gosh.
him out to the stage and then probably dismember him like on stage. No, just kidding.
There's a
was gonna
lot of
say.
people flying over to go see this.
No, they would be, dude. Could you even imagine Thrill or just you got to be some real inner circle, bro, to get invited to something like that. Like, shit, that would just be the goddamn most validating thing you could do as a heavy metal musician is get invited to
And
this.
keep in
fucking event.
mind, look at the guitarist. Brown, obviously, with Pantera being there, you're going to get
Zach Wild.
Zach, yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Paul 3, I really think you're way off on the Jakey Lee thing. I really think he's going to be on stage with Ozzy. I
But you know
really
what?
think. I mean,
No.
like,
Let me throw this in there. If they do Planet Caravan, Phil Asamo would most definitely sing that because you remember back in '94, Pantera's cover of Planet Caravan was a big hit on commercial radio.
Bro, that cover is one of those. In a rare instance, you get these covers. I don't like saying a lot of covers are better than originals. I don't like saying that about a lot of covers, but and I don't want to say it about this one, but damn, do they have an amazing version of Planet Caravan?
They
Pantera does.
did. They did. Most definitely. For Shizzle.
I think Metallica beat all the covers, even the Bob Seger. Turn the page.
Oh yeah. Oh, Sabracadabra.
What do
They
you,
covered
Paul
that
30?
Black Sabbath song.
Paul 30, you think Metallica's version of Turn the Page was better than Bob Seger's?
Not
I'm
really.
so sick of that song in general because I've heard it at every open mic, bro. People play that at open mic constantly.
I'm
So
tired of hearing
annoying.
it on radio altogether. When I was back in the Plastic Workshop back in Richmond, Michigan, the classic rock station that they would blast that song almost every day of the week.
Not which one, the original or the Metallica? Because when
The
the
original,
Metallica one
Bob
came out,
Seger. Original, Bob
well, when the
Seger.
Metallica came out, when Metallica's version came out, then you liked it because it was it was better
It
and
was
it's
different,
cooler.
yes. It was a more harder version. The video, however, I would not. It
Out
was
there
disturbing.
in the spotlight, you're a million miles away. Every ounce of energy, you drinking lemonade. Yo, is there any Brown? Can you look up if the Black Sabbath show was going to be streamed or live anywhere? Maybe they update
I'm
because
check.
like all three's finding shit. Like, well, 5 songs. Like, there's shit everywhere that's coming out that I couldn't even find. So,
Let me
like,
find out.
Hagar confirmed that Ozzy's doing 5 Ozzy solo songs.
And also that Ozzy wants to sing "No More Tears" is one of those
All right.
songs.
Okay.
And if Ozzy can do it, then
Sadly, there's
Hagar will
not
be
going to
singing
be
it.
any. It won't be live. The show may not be officially live streamed. While a petition has been launched urging for an official live stream or pay-per-view, there's no confirmation. Yeah, exactly. If it will
Where's that
happen,
petition?
oh, I guess a lot of Sabbath fans are out there who are unable to see the show. They're definitely starting this petition going.
I
I'm
mean, look,
pissed.
honestly, look, people record single songs, but there's people that record the whole shows, kind of like me. And that, look, if you're, and sometimes, look, you got to maybe use headphones to listen to some stuff. Sometimes it's the opposite. But you can get a good idea, bro, off of recording from a phone these days. If they're
Yeah, sure.
if they're not blocking their speaker with their hand, if they're using like a newer phone, you can get
Yeah,
some
but
good shit,
sometimes they sing along with the video and it gets ruined. I've seen
Yep.
that too.
And plus,
I know.
plus with fans recording the show, the
There'll be a
sound
good
quality
there'll be some good
altogether
shit
not
though.
that good.
There's gonna be some good shit though. There's gonna be if they're not gonna stream and all that. I don't want to fucking get all depressed because there'll be some shit to come out and we'll talk.
No,
But
I'm
like,
disgusted. It's not confirmed yet, and it's still a couple months away, so they could easily get a streaming deal. I think that would be the
They
way to
should,
go. It
yes. The
makes
proceed
perfect sense.
and plus the proceeds from the live stream that they earned will definitely go to the charity, which is the Cure Alzheimer's that was mentioned earlier.
It's already sold out, so what they're not trying to sell any more tickets, so who cares at this point?
Oh man. Yeah. But then again, you never know. Maybe so many people want to cash in on this as well. Hey, we got so many people want to jump on board to this because this has been the talk of the town for how many months since it was first announced?
ACDC is doing one of their shows close to there around that, like a couple of days before that or after that. I think it's like
I
a few
bet
days before that.
Now, if
I bet
So
ACDC
you
there's
were
a
they
to
lot of
show
people
up,
going
that
to
would be a
both.
trip and a half.
I
There's
bet you they
people
keep all the
going.
merch sales.
ACDC would never be involved with anything Black Sabbath because ACDC is not heavy metal. I hate when people call ACDC heavy metal. It's not. They put it in that same pond sometimes. ACDC wouldn't be called dead at a Black Sabbath event. Like this is for the people that know out there. This is. I mean, you're getting your people like Anthrax. Okay, Brown. Brown? They're all original right now, right? Still,
Well, not
or
all the
classic
original
lineup.
lineup. Not really the original lineup. There are a couple. They got a different other guitar player other than the main four: Joey, Scott,
I'm gonna start
Charlie,
hitting
and Frank.
Anthrax is getting a little bit too aggressive for me, but the vocals really doesn't. You would think, like rah, 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 like even a lot of that Pantera stuff is a little bit too aggressive. But
No, have you ever heard "Bring the Noise" by Pantera?
Yes, I heard it many times. Their duet, "Bring the Noise." You mean
Yeah.
the
Wow, you've never heard that?
their
uh,
Public Enemy?
Oh,
It's Anthrax with members of Public Enemy collaborating on a Public Enemy track, "Bring the Noise" from
they
'91.
were on Public Enemy. They were wrestlers too in ECW, correct?
no, not the
No,
same
not that
Public
Public
Enemy.
Enemy. No, we're
That
talking
was
about the
I was
rap
watching.
group.
You
I
got to
was watching.
listen to this. This actually was like really it's Anthrax's biggest claim to fame, or at least was many years before the Big
They're on
Four, at
Married with
least.
Children too. Come
But
Yes,
on.
it's kind of ironic, bro, that their biggest claim to fame is not some aggressive song. It's actually like a rap fucking duet.
a lab preparation. The
Oh
same thing.
yeah,
The
I
public.
think Potter. I think they had that song on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater too.
Yeah, I think they did actually too. Like, I think you actually might be right on that, to be honest. It's a
Yeah,
good song. It's not a bad song. Like, it's
They had
crazy
real.
song.
That was
pretty
like the
good.
first video game I ever gotten besides a wrestling game that had real songs in there. I was like, what the hell? I mean, like
Yeah.
your sports games had stuff too, like rap shit or whatever, but like they had the number of the beast, bro.
Hmm.
Oh
Like
yeah, definitely. Tony Hawk has great
remember what
music.
you were
They had
talking
no
about. I do
effects.
remember the song. I do remember that shit.
Tony Hawk, I think it was Tony Hawk Underground 1, I believe. They actually have whatever if you own the game, a stage which is a Kiss concert in the desert. And you can grind on the Kiss stage, you can, go on
What?
the riser.
Are you
Yeah, you can
serious?
play as Gene Simmons. Yes, I did that many, many, many times as a kid, bro. And I was infatuated with the stage. I would check it all out. I'd be like all over it. Yeah, if you can find a YouTube video, Tony Hawk Underground, the Kiss stage, it's really fucking cool. And they had
Wow.
I think it was just rock and roll all night, party every day. They had that as the track there, but
Yeah.
and God of Thunder, I believe. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, Tony Hawk.
They play fucking rock and roll all night on the fucking Sirius, bro, on the
They
XM.
play rock and
Like that
roll all
shit
night
I
pisses me off.
mean,
everywhere, even the grocery
I'll
chains.
be
it's a
listening to Air Nation or Ozzy's Boneyard on XM.
it's a
They
played
fucking
out
play that
song.
song.
It's played out as fuck, but like think about like actually writing that song and when it came out, that's a genius song, bro. That is absolutely
It
amazing.
is.
That's
It's probably going to be
genius
the
writing
all-time
right there.
party anthem all around.
We're gonna get listen on the Sabbath show. Priest is not going to be. Priest is playing in like Hungary or some other country on that day. So like you're not going to get a Halford out there, which that would be really cool.
Oh yeah.
That's where they're putting in that KK, KK Downing. I mean, that would be. But bro, you're getting. Look, my biggest thing, and I did mention this to Eddie Trunk before. Like, I really want to see the people really need to see Hagar with Wolfgang, man.
It
Like
would
that
be
would
I
nice.
agree.
be
Oh, I agree as well. There,
at
it would be
whatever
nice.
Hagar's doing. Have Wolfgang, because Wolfgang could play every instrument. He played every. He's like fucking. He's like Smashing Pumpkins. He's like what's his name? You know what
Billy
I'm saying?
Corgan.
He played
But you know
every.
what you're missing? You're missing another equation, and this always happens, bro. The bass player always gets forgot. Michael Anthony is sure to be there with Sammy for his solo shit, and I would assume the Aussie cover. So I mean, you would have Wolfgang with not only Sammy but Michael Anthony as well. That would be crazy.
Well, look,
Yes.
1,000%. Bill Ward's not going to be playing drums for all of this, so you're going to have different drummers. You're going to have, like I'm telling you, Kenny Aronoff's going to be playing. Like bro, you're right, Paul 3. Like, is Satriani built on this or no? He's not really heavy
Who's that?
metal
Not
though.
really. No, I
Joe
don't see him on
Satriani.
the list.
Well, Sammy
Oh
still.
yeah, he might be
That's
with
his drummer
Sammy.
right now. That's his
He
drummer is
might.
Aronoff.
Dude, he might be. Oh my God! Wow. Wait,
Dude.
Kenny Aronoff is drumming for Sammy Hagar right now.
Yes.
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 Dude, listen to that lineup. Listen to that lineup. Sammy Hagar on vocals, Joe Satriani on guitar, Michael Anthony on bass and background vocals, and Kenny Aronoff on drums. That is sick.
I
That
saw
It
that,
is.
but
is.
with
It is
Jason Bonham
definitely.
on drums. But I saw that. That's what I'm saying, bro.
That's
Would you agree
crazy
with?
work.
Would you agree that Jason Bonham is better than Aronoff, or do you like Aronoff better
No,
than?
nope, I wouldn't. I would say Kenny Aronoff is better. I think he's one of the greatest drummers of all time. I was just talking about him at a band practice. I love his drumming. It's amazing. And just he has such like a flashiness to his playing, and it's like you want to watch him. He's like, sometimes drummers they get lost in the sauce, and
Yep.
you kind of don't pay attention to him. But Kenny Aronoff, you always watch him.
Mhm.
Did he play drums for? Was it Conan O'Brien? Which late night show did he play drums on?
I believe that was Max
Max
Weinberg.
Weinberg.
Yeah, he played with David Letterman's late night group.
Weinberg was with Conan O'Brien, Max Weinberg, and the Weinberg
Okay, so
Seven.
it must have been.
Okay,
It must have
my bad.
been.
My bad.
Uh,
That's I forgot. It's been so long.
it's one of the other
Paul
late, but he
Schaefer
did
was,
play on the late night shows too.
those late night bands were great back in the day, dude. Paul Schaefer is an amazing musician. Paul Schaefer, Will Lee was a bass player who
Hmm.
plays with the Letterman band or whatever he used to. He's another one. And the one guy I don't know if you watched Leno back in the day, but he always had that one guitar player. I don't
Kevin
remember his name,
Eubanks.
but he would always just laugh
His
at
name was
Letterman's jokes.
Kenny something.
No, Kevin Eubanks.
Kevin Eubanks,
Kevin
yeah.
Yes.
Brown, you are a fucking genius, bro. You
And
are an
also, let's not
encyclopedia of
forget
information.
the drummer for Letterman's band. I meant to say was Anton Fig, who worked with who played some old early Kiss records, as well as be the drummer for Ace Frehley's group.
Can't forget that. Yeah, those late night groups were no joke back in the day, bro. Seriously, some
Yep.
killer musicians on those.
Hmm.
And you know what was cool
Who-
about Letterman's group? Let me just one more thing and touch on this. If you look at a lot of performances from the Letterman show, bands would come in. They would oftentimes mix with the Letterman band, or sometimes like a singer and a guitar player would just play with the band. So you would have those guys would be having to learn all those hits like very accurately to be playing on national television.
Yes.
So yeah, you had no slouches in definitely the Letterman group. Crazy.
Okay, let's also not forget Doc Severinsen, who used to lead the Tonight Show band when Johnny Carson was still hosting that program as well.
That's a little too old for me, but I definitely know the name and get the reference. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't think I've ever heard him play. What did he play exactly?
I believe he was a let me see if I can find it. I think he was a trumpet player if I'm correct. Let me look him up
Yeah,
for old
something like
time's
that.
sake. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Doc
Yeah,
Severson.
Carson was just out of my like age range reach. Like I didn't get to watch that. I grew up with Leno and Letterman and Conan. Really, what I grew up with myself was Conan O'Brien. That's what I loved,
Yep.
dude. Back in the day.
All of them were good back, like 20 years ago. When like
Yeah,
now they all suck though.
Yeah.
they're
Honestly,
terrible now.
Yep. His name is Doc Severson. He's 97 years old currently, and he's a retired jazz trumpeter.
Wow,
even
he's
what's
still
his
alive.
name? Even what's his name? Paul Three, from SNL.
SNL.
Oh,
G.E. Smith.
No, he hosted late night. He
Hmm.
still does. The
Um.
newer SNL, like from the 2000s. Jimmy
Uh.
Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
oh,
Let's see.
I mean, like
I never
like
really
15
knew.
years ago, Jimmy Fallon's show was decent. It was funny. They had
he's
the Questlove and the Roots.
Hmm.
Come
a
on.
great band, and I mean Fallon. I mean, hate him or love him for his comedy and his political takes and all of his social takes, but Fallon is a damn good musician and a great singer. Like
He was
taking
funny
nothing
back in the
away
SNL
from him.
days. All of them now are political and it's not cool. But like Fallon was on the SNLs, all that. He was one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a great, like I said, he's a great, absolute, awesome, great singer and guitar player. So
I want to give a
Yep.
big shout out to Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff for starting a wrestling
Yeah, what are they
company.
starting now, by the
They-
way? I was wondering. I saw the video a couple of days ago at
All that?
work.
it's so stupid, dude. It's not even a real wrestling company. It's like a freestyle wrestling organization. The
He said
announcement,
they're bringing in Olympic. They're bringing like all these third party athletes that are real
nobody
athletes.
cares, dude. The announcement was a total dud.
You know, it's trying to
Where
make
do
it
they
look
announce
like an
that at?
old NWO ad, but it wasn't that good. It wasn't the same without Kevin Nash, let alone the late Scott Hall.
Rest in peace, Scott Hall.
Yep, Razor Ramon, hey Chico, and I guess that organization which Hogan I guess is supposed to be starting. I don't know if it's really going to go anywhere with Hogan at the helms.
No,
Hey,
it'll
what?
die a fiery death, just like XFL did under The Rock. It'll
Yeah,
die, and now you have all kind of drama in the WWE right now because Triple H and The Rock hate each other, and there's all kind of drama going on. Dude, pro wrestling is insane right now.
I know.
Why, or did you get your ticket to AEW yet?
There's no
Know what?
there's no there's no tickets for that Aussie show or the Sabbath thing on StubHub. I
Dude,
wonder
that
what
Aussie
reason.
Probably
show,
sold out.
bro, the Aussie show's in 12 minutes.
Huh?
I believe what I heard was the Aussie show sold out in 12 minutes.
Yeah, but people still resell them shits. Come on.
Who's reselling that ticket, bro? I mean,
I,
those are
bro,
scooped up.
if I was rich, I would be a ticket, bro. I would do that online. I would hit that, bro. You go in, $5,000, whatever. You buy up what you know. What I'm saying one for you, and you buy three other ones. People do that, bro. You still go, but you sell the other ones and you sell them for what you more than what you pay for. You get a free ticket out of it eventually. Kind of. People probably hit that for sports, but they're gonna change all that up with the new laws and shit. You can't be doing that anymore. You only can resell for the face value amount or lease or less. Dr. Brown, did you ever
Yes.
buy a ticket from a scalper on the
Never.
streets?
Never.
Did you ever
Did on
buy
the
like
Prejudice a couple times.
shirts?
You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever buy shirts from like third party shirt makers outside of a concert?
Yes.
Yes,
Me and
at the
Yeah,
Brown.
I've
Judas
done
Priest. Yeah, at the Judas Priest show, we both got bootleg shirts each.
They have some pretty nice ones sometimes, actually, the bootleg stuff.
Yeah.
No,
You know what?
nowadays they're
Speaking of
good.
bootleg,
Nowadays they're good, man.
you know, but speaking of
Yeah,
bootleg, I
I got some
remember.
good bootleg.
Go ahead. Let Brown talk. Stop interrupting him, Paul 3. God.
Hey,
Speaking of
I
speaking of
guess I'm just
bootleg,
trying to get all my shit in. I have to get going here in like a couple
Ah,
minutes. I'm just gonna let you guys know.
come on.
right there.
I'm no,
Well,
I'm s- I shit. I shouldn't have been on this long to be honest, but I always like talking music and it's been a good time. But yeah, I'm gonna have to wrap it up because I got the
Hey, work
studio.
on the seriously, work on the oh shit, work on the Jake DeMarco thing, man.
yes, get
I
Jake
will.
on the
Yeah, it's
call.
after WrestleMania.
I reached
Yeah,
out
he.
to him. I can talk to him on. I'm talking to him on X. You know, I'm not. You know, tweet something and he's nice and stuff. You know, when he said he's gonna fit in the schedule. You know, it's gonna be soon. So we just gotta
Yeah, he.
all start on the same time, and hopefully he has Discord, but
I
figure it
believe
out.
he has already. He's already put. He does. He's already put this out there. I believe. I'm not gonna say too much, but he has like an issue with his ankle going on right now,
Oh wow.
and it's not great, and it requires like some surgery, including like shape. It's like shaving down his fucking heel, bro. Like this is some serious like stuff. So I actually haven't heard from him in about a day or two. Yeah, I think he's going through some bad health stuff again right now.
Oh
So,
man.
but he wants to get on the show. If he hears this, much love out there to you, Jake DeMarco, because I love his content right now.
All right. Jake,
Yo, wrestling. Listen, Brown, wrestling really wasn't. You know, WrestleMania wasn't. It was cool in some ways, but it was just didn't feel like WrestleMania, man. Honestly, like
no.
I
Actually,
know that
what
rapper dude
Travis
is
Scott?
big, but he killed a bunch of people at one of his shows, bro.
Hmm.
The Astrodome.
Yeah, I
So
remember. Yeah, I know they're citing him as responsible for that.
bring in
However,
ACDC, bro. Bring in like WrestleMania 17, which I went to. They had Motorhead play Triple H's song, bro.
yeah,
And I didn't realize it at the time who that
You
was.
saw that?
But I did see live Motorhead. Yeah, it was at. I remember it was like it wasn't like they were in the center of the ring. They were like at the corner, like of the entrance.
yes, that's
Dude,
how
I
they
So
do it.
posted that on TikTok. I posted
and
that clip on TikTok and it got a lot of views. Like, fuck, man, that's in a
I think it was all
legendary
live too. I
WrestleMania.
think he did that. I think they did that all
They
live. I
did
think
live,
that's definitely live.
absolutely.
All
Yeah,
right, guys. Well, I'm not gonna take over the show anymore. Like I said, I'm kind of out of it to be honest at this point. So I'm gonna hop off here. Y'all have a good night. And it was
you
great
too,
talking to
Paul.
you guys
Glad
as
you can make
always.
it then.
Thank
Glad
you,
you can
man.
make it, man.
Thank you, my brother.
All right.
Have a good one, guys.
You too, man. Next
Bye
week.
bye.
All right,
All
there.
right, all right, Brown man.
Yeah, I think it's time to end the show right
You ready
now.
to end the pro?
What up?
I think it's time to end the program, man.
I think so, yeah. So we did a great show. Everything worked out good. No issues with the streaming. There were no problems as I spoke up earlier today. And that's that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight's episode of Music Maniacs. On behalf of myself, Paul 3, YR, we thank everybody for tuning in this evening. Don't forget to